our future selves will wonder where they started from. Those who have made the decision and embarked on the path of progress will wonder about themselves, because it will be a different person looking back at their former self, a much more conscious being. You do the mission because it is what you have to do. We simply have to do it in full harmony and with full acceptance. Transformation, full consciousness, the soul does the work. Eventually, the transformation happens and one identifies with the best version of oneself by letting the soul go ahead and take care of things from here. Let me warmly welcome you to the City of Dawn YouTube channel. My name is Mubati Seeker. I am a medical doctor, healer, writer and teacher. I am the author of the best-selling Awake Giant, The Dawn of the Soul, which you can purchase on Amazon. This book can be your guide to inner development and self-discovery, helping you become who you truly are. I want to help you discover why you are here, what your unique and personalized mission is here on the planet called Earth, and how to set out with strong determination, courage, and resolve on the path that has been waiting for you for so long. This path was made for you, and no one else can walk it for you. My channel and of course my book will help you with this. Let's start today's video. It matters how a question is phrased. You will get a satisfactory answer if your question is honest enough. When you ask a question, check to see if there's something untrue behind the question, because everything is based on honesty, most of all with yourself. You deceive yourself with so many things every day. You tell yourself things because it's more comfortable. How many headaches it would cause if you dared to tell the truth? For example, maybe you don't like your job. You don't really like your partner. You don't even like yourself. These are hard things to admit because once you say them honestly to yourself, nothing will ever be the same. How are you going to go to work day after day when you've already admitted you don't like it? Not to mention your partner, it's even harder on yourself. You can change jobs, or at least change your attitude. You can leave your partner, or you can accept that you don't love him that much anymore, but you're still attached to him because you get on well. But self-love is not easy. I think there are many people who don't really love themselves. There can sometimes be a kind of self-blame behind that. In certain situations in the past, maybe we didn't stand up for ourselves because we were and still are cowards. We are weak. We don't have the strength to do what we really want to do. And other people's opinions determine our self-image and our actions. How can we break out of this? Well, first of all, by being honest. It is difficult, but I will say it. I don't like myself because I was a coward and I still am. But, and this is a very big but, tomorrow I will no longer be a coward. Now I honestly admit it. I accept it. I accept that this was in the past and this is now, But now is also a turning point, because now is the realization. Nothing will ever be the same from now on. From now on, I will take all the tools to start on the path of self-improvement. So tomorrow I will look brave and strong, because it will not be the opinion of others that define who I am and what I am really about. I will know all of these things. I will know who I am. I will bring to the forefront my soul that has been suppressed but has been there all along, waiting to be released from his prison and to take control of me, because he will know where to take me. He is truly strong and brave, determined and unwavering. This reminds me of a story written for children about the cowardly boy and the lion. And I am going to read it to you because it has some fascinating conclusions to draw. Veronica Marek, Leslie and the Lion. In this house lived Leslie, the most cowardly little boy in the world. He wanted to be a pilot. But who has ever seen a cowardly flyer? When he saw a dog, he ran away. If the room was dark, he didn't dare go in. He was even afraid of children. So they laughed at him, and no one would play with him. Leslie cried a lot because he was alone. He looked at picture books all day. This was the picture he liked best. If I had a lion like that, I would never be afraid of anything. The next morning, when he woke up, he found a little red lion next to his bed. What is a little lion like that worse? The lion was angry. Look here, he cried, and with one hand he lifted a chair. Then he leapt at the lion and threw it to the ground. Am I a strong lion? He asked. I'll make you strong and brave too, if you like. Who wants to be strong does gymnastics, like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. From then on, they did gymnastics together every morning. One day, they went for a walk. They met a little girl who was crying so hard. Leslie asked her, "Why are you crying?" "Because there's a dog in the other side." Leslie was scared, but then he remembered, "Why should I be afraid? There is a lion with me," and led the little girl past the biting dog. Leslie, with the lion in his pocket, went home. He decided to draw. Here's the eraser, here's the paper, here's the pencil, but where are the colored ones? The colored ones are in the other room, but it's dark there, and Leslie can't reach the light switch. "I'm not going in," said Leslie. "But you are going in," said the lion. "I'm not going in," said Leslie. "I am coming with you," said the lion. Leslie went in, got out his crayons, and spent the whole night drawing. Time went by. Leslie got stronger and stronger, and more skillful. Even his ancestor lifted their chair with one hand. He could stand on his hands, and on the day they wrestled, he beat the lion. That day he went to see the children. They were sad because a boy called Long had taken their new ball. "We only miss you, you cowardly worm," they said. "I am not a cowardly worm," said Leslie. "Then bring our ball back." "I will," said Leslie. And off he went. "I am not afraid. I have a lion with me." He seen Long. "Wait!" he shouted angrily. Long wondered. "Everyone is afraid of him. This boy must be stronger than me. I'd better run away." And he ran away. But which way he ran? He ran this way. Long's head showed. He ran this way. Long's scruff showed. He ran this way, said Long's handkerchief. Leslie caught up with Long. Long was so scared that he dropped the ball and climbed a tall tree. He didn't dare come down until the evening. The children went crazy. Leslie reached into his pocket to get the lion and thanked him for his help. But what was in his pocket? An apple. Leslie was brave without the lion, alone. Hurrah, hurrah! But where is the lion? Leslie ran home. At home he found a letter. For Leslie. The lion wrote. Dear Leslie, you see, you are already strong and brave like a lion. You don't need me anymore. No, I am going to another little boy to teach him courage. Don't ever forget me, and I'll think of you a lot, okay? Lion. Leslie is the pride of the lion. He's not afraid of anymore. Now he's sure to become a flyer. The end. Spiritually speaking, as long as we do not let the divine energy into our lives, we are like the little boy at the beginning of the story, unaware of his own abilities and the immense potential he holds. Remember the chapter Look in the Mirror. Who is that looking back at you? Of course, there are many ways to interpret this story, but this is my perspective. For me, the little lion is a symbol of divine energy that, if we accept it and allow it to permeate our being, it stays with us, and we can become who we really are, who we have always had the potential to be. Let us note that the little boy first saw the picture of the lion in a picture book, and his eyes were caught by it. He saw something in it that he lacked but that he longed for in his heart. He saw the quiet strength, the steadfast determination, the courage. It's just like when you live your life according to your animal instincts. And then something comes your way. Another person, an event, a thought, whatever it is, that you see you lack but you sense could be in you if you knew how to bring it to the fore. When he saw the image of the lion, he said a prayer. If I had such a lion, I would never fear anything. And the next day, it came to him. He called and it came. That's how divine energies behave. If you call, they will come. But you have to call. As long as you invite the dark forces, and as long as ignorance is your body, you are constantly inviting them to you and hosting them. So why are you surprised if you are unhappy? Don't you decide who you invite to your house? Who you invite will come. If you invite God, then the process of development begins, of training, so to speak, like the lion training the little boy with gymnastics. Then the first serious test, helping the little girl in trouble and overcoming his fear of the biting dog. The biting dog is like the hostile force. You see, he didn't end up biting anymore, but he enjoyed making everyone afraid of him because they were afraid he might bite. However, once you're no longer afraid of him, he'll pull his ears and tail in and go out to scare others who believe he's really dangerous. He barks and bares his teeth and looks really scary to us. That's exactly how the dark forces work, to create fear. Then comes a series of tests, just like in life. If you take up the spiritual life and make the decision, I'm going on the road, then the training begins. Something begins that is really not for the lazy folk, to quote the mother. There is work here, and work must be done. Progress is not given for free. When you start on his path, you accept all that it will bring into your life with the reassuring hope that no matter how difficult the trial, you will always be given the strength and energy to do it. At the dark room trial, how strong is the fear in the little boy? Even the hostile forces can make him believe that he has something to fear, and the lion speaks to him lovingly like this, I am coming with you. We have nothing to fear either, because no matter how difficult the journey, no matter how great and unsurmountable the obstacles that await us, no matter how formidable the forces of darkness, there is someone who is with us all the way. But we tend to forget that. In fact, we are never alone. The great teacher is always there with us, teaching us continually through the trials and tribulations, and it is through them that we will make the greatest progress. Time has passed. Leslie grew stronger and more skillful. Even as an encaster, he lifted the chair with one hand. As the challenges come one by one, we don't even notice them, and we are carried forward by a wave of progress that we will be amazed to see, because if we stop and look back at the person who made the decision and stepped onto the path of the progress, it will be someone else who will have done the looking back. A much more conscious being with a much greater sense of peace and harmony, who is no longer afraid, who is brave and strong. And then, when he is ready and strong enough, he will go out to the children. We too, when we are advanced enough, when we are in the upper classes of divine training, can be given the task of helping the new ones to find their place and learn how things work here. Just like in a school cafeteria, where the little freshman doesn't know at first where the tray is, where the silver wave is, where to line up, where to sit. A few kids from the higher classes will come and show the newbies how to do things. The little boy was also ready to help the weaker ones. Note that this kid named Long is a typical bad kid who gets his kicks from hurting others, just like the hostile forces around us. But also notice that this is the role they have to play. This is what God has allowed them to play, to give the seekers of God who are striving towards the light an opportunity to be tested. If this story had been missing, for example, the suitor named Long, the protagonist Leslie would not have been able to show his courage. Or even if Long had been a good kid who didn't take the ball, Leslie wouldn't have been able to complete the mission. He had to get the ball back. That was his assignment, and the whole training culminated in this act. It was also that when the time came, he would be ready to fulfill his destiny. Jesus Christ did the same thing. He went into the wilderness, where I think there was a kind of inner development, where he came back knowing clearly who he was. God incarnate with a mission, and now he had all the ability to fulfill it. Note also the children in the story who are crying for their ball. To me, they symbolize the mental people who refuse to evolve. Something bad happens to them and they do nothing but cry and demand. They criticize the other person for being a coward, but what are they? Such a person just whines and always looks to someone else for a solution. If that someone doesn't help them, they will judge them, and if they do help, they are totally there. They may even fail to say thank you. One thing is completely lacking in a person living such a life: the capacity for any kind of improvement. Or rather, I expressed myself wrongly, deliberately. The ability is in everyone. Here the will is missing. They do not want to develop. I would add for now. Leslie could say that he doesn't have people like this, that they should get their own ball back because they might not even thank him, but he knows he doesn't help for the sake of thanks, nor to get a reward, nor even to make himself look good or to show off his courage. He helps because he already knows it is his job. It is his mission. The lion has made him strong, and with this new ability comes a new mission. The mission is not something we do because we accept any results. We do what we do because we love God, and when He gives us a task, we do it without reflection and without thinking, to the best of our ability. We don't even need to know why. We just have to do it in total harmony with total acceptance. Long wondered. Everyone is afraid of him. We've talked about this before. The forces of ignorance will wonder about you. If they see that you're not afraid of them, they'll make a desperate attempt to test you, but if they see that this man is not really afraid of us, they'll move away. However, we cannot allow them to just retreat and then attack again. We have to go after them, just as in the story Leslie followed Long. Watching for the telltale signs, watching for Long's head, we must take the trouble to pursue our ungodly qualities in the same way until we have permanently expelled them even from the unconscious parts of ourselves. Not a shred of them must remain. Only divine qualities can populate our consciousness. My interpretation is a little flawed in that this power stays with us and does not leave us, just as the little lion went on to help another child. I am reminded of a line of poetry that is very fitting here. I really like and loved the band Bonanza Banzai. I used to discover very deep truths in the Hungarian singer Ákos lyrics. For me, this is what real inspired songwriting is, when there is something to say and not just words piled up next to each other to make some forced rhyme. So, in one of his songs, there was a line like this: if the singer disappears, the song will still be there to help you live happier. This was significant in the life of the band because it was after this that they broke up and Ákos continued to carve out verses as a solo singer. Notice that's exactly what happens here. When the lion is no longer physically present, the power it represented remains. What we cannot even comprehend with human consciousness, we will be able to experience this when we manage to overcome the sense of separation that constantly drives us as human beings, and that is often all that matters to us. What is mine, what is yours? But when we come to identify with God, and when we realize Him, we will feel that we are one with everything, and the singer, the song, and the one who listens to it are all one and the same, in fact. The master, the disciple, and the teaching are the same. Only now, here with the human mind, we are not able to grasp this. Perhaps we can take it that the apple was in the boy's pocket instead of the lion, but no matter what he has or whether he has anything, the power remains with him, and he does not necessarily need to see it. When he was weak, it was important to see. When he was strong, he knew he had it without seeing. The little boy at the beginning of the story is the material man who identifies with the material world and not with his soul. So you could say he is not himself. That is why he is frustrated. That is why he is weak. By the end of the story, the transformation takes place, thanks to divine grace, and the man identifies with the best version of himself by letting his soul go ahead and take care of his own affairs from here. For the soul receives its tasks and the power to carry them out directly from God. When He fills our being, there is no more going astray, but only the way we must go. No more wasted time. Remember, the foundation of it all is honestly. Since we are talking about questions, ask yourself what you are not being honest with yourself about. If you want to get started, this is really essential. Write it down, make a list, and if you can be really honest about your falsehoods, then we'll have something to talk about and the real work can begin. As a final word, which may be an overthinking of the story, but since I remembered it, is a kind of final interpretation. This is one of the closing sentences. Now it will definitely be a flyer. If we compare the initially cowardly little boy to ourselves, as we progress along the path of life and embark on the journey of spiritual development, eventually, after enduring many trials, we will come to full identification with God and self-fulfillment. Finally, what will be our highest state of being? It is not that we will also become flyers. That is, we will be radiant beings who no longer need to take on a body, and we will fly in the world of the Spirit in the company of angels, on the higher planes, in perfect union with God. I think that is a rather hopeful goal. When our hard work is done, the need for rebirth will be gone, and we will have perfect harmony and peace for all eternity. And when we meet each other there, we can smile lovingly at each other and welcome each other to the world of the planes, to the higher planes, in an infinitely expanded state of consciousness. I would like to conclude today's video with the wise words of the Mother from the book Questions and Answers 1956. This is the original English book, and I would like to show you the Hungarian translation by me. What should be done? Be sincere. That's it. Always, always. The little worm in the fruit. One tells oneself, "Oh, I can't." It's not true. If one wanted, one could. And there are people who tell me, "I don't have the willpower." That means you are not sincere. For sincerity is an infinitely more powerful force than all the wills in the world. It can change anything, whatever, in the twinkling of an eye. It takes hold of it, grips it, pulls it out, and then it's over. But you close your eyes, you find excuses for yourself. Let's briefly summarize the most important wise teachings from today's video. Honesty, self-love, I was coward, I don't love myself, I will be brave, I will start loving myself. In the lion story, as long as we do not accept the divine energies, we are like the cowardly little boy who is unaware of his own abilities. Another person, we see the light in him. We begin to learn from him. It could be in us too, if we knew how to bring it to the fore. If we call them, they will come. We are not alone in the struggle. No matter how difficult the journey, there is someone who is with us all the way. We just tend to forget that. Our future selves will wonder where they started from. Those who have made the decision and embarked on the path of progress will wonder about themselves, because it will be a different person looking back at their former self, a much more conscious being. You do the mission because it is what you have to do. We simply have to do it in full harmony and with full acceptance. Transformation, full consciousness, the soul does the work. Eventually, the transformation happens and one identifies with the best version of oneself by letting the soul go ahead and take care of things from here. Remember, the city of dawn is you. You who are watching this video and who are thereby being brought into the consciousness of the Divine Mother. Live this in your daily life, and if you feel comfortable here, Come back again and again. Be a regular guest here. Be a builder, be a resident of the city of Dawn. Discover the deeper truths of your life. Find your way to yourself and become who you really are. If you would like to join me, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook and TikTok, and feel free to share this video with others. The Mother's books are available to read for free at the link provided in the description. And I welcome any questions you may have via email. You can purchase my book Awake Giant, The Dawn of the Soul on Amazon. You will find the link in the description. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing your hearts and souls. May Mother bless you abundantly on your journey through life. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.